Welcome, Sojourners, to the Women's Leadership Mindset Series. My name is Teresa Page. I am your host and looking forward to spending these next few moments with all of you. We have a lot of work to get done on today, but first, allow me to invite you to connect with me by subscribing to my website and YouTube channel. Connect and follow me on LinkedIn, and always feel free to contact me directly via email at teresakpagellc@outlook.com. So what is our goal? Well, as an author, speaker, coach, and mentor, my mission is to help professional women renew their leadership mindset with fresh fire and purpose through the mediums of leadership development and coaching services. However, the Women's Leadership Mindset Series is a new initiative intended to spotlight powerful women leaders and how they serve the world through their professions and purpose. So with the goal to help women realize their unfulfilled dreams and re-energize the leaders they always were, this platform is designed to enhance, empower, educate, equalize, and even emancipate, as our special guests share their entrepreneurial stories, provide valuable resources, and guidance in a caring, professional, and impactful manner. So, let's get down to business. Today I just wanted to take a few minutes because, as you know, I have released the new edition of my book, My Journey to Wholeness, Love, the Success Factor. And I just wanted to be able to share a few snippets from each one of the chapters. I think now the book has about 6 chapters, but they're pretty of good size. But today I want to continue on in with just reading just a little bit out of the book. I am going to read a little bit from chapter 2 that is titled Love, the Ultimate Success Factor. So this is going to kind of piggyback off of what I read in the previous video where I was reading from chapter 1 and how this entire story, or how I have come to understand why love is so important in the lives of women, and just taking you through the entire journey. So I'm going to read a little bit from chapter 2, and I just want you to hang with me for a little while. And so I think what is really important is that while this book focuses in on women specifically, I think that the content is even bold enough and can even be received even by men. I'm understanding that while love is such a sweet component in our emotional space, but it is so important. It is such a driver and it's such a catalyst for that helps to determine our everyday success. And what I hope that this book will do is kind of to help readers to understand that love is more than an emotion. That love really is that all-powerful, all-knowledgeable, all-present, all-creative, all-benevolent superpower that is available to us, that can be applicable to all of our intense situations where we need a solution, when we need some truth, when we need a little bit of innovation. That is what love is. And I'll even go for as far as to say that we are the personification of love. Love can only be successful if love has a vessel to work through. And so we are that vessel. We are the personification of love that can affect real change in our particular sphere of influence. So I want you to sit with me and listen with both your ears as well as your heart as I read a little bit from chapter 2, which is titled Love, the Ultimate Success Factor. So I'm going to start with the section that's titled A Discovery. Recalling the flashback from the previous chapter and the question of what force is holding women back, I discovered after years of pondering, asking the Lord questions, and searching the scriptures that we as women need a fresh revelation of the power that will ensure our rights and freedom to face the days ahead. That power is love. That is right. While the threats upon our liberty are real, the effectual power of God's love and the comprehension thereof is the ultimate key to women's success as we encounter the trouble that is facing all women here and abroad. This is important because later in our conversation, we will learn that one of the top issues facing us today in the 21st century is the underutilization or misuse of women in our society and workplaces. We will find that it is in our nation's interest and to our economy's advantage to give women in both our personal and professional spaces the love, the value, the respect, and the room needed to be the leaders they always were to see our world flourish. Let us take a few moments to discuss why love is the ultimate key to women's success. Love, the key to women's success. Historically, the most humane act done to women has been the conditioning that our security and fulfillment in love is contingent upon external factors. While things such as husband, children, education, career, money, affluence, and material luxuries are wonderful to add to our lives, what if we do not have these things? Do we decrease in value as women? Or what if we have all of these things and still feel empty on the inside? Are we then ungrateful? The answer is no and no. The key is settling accounts with loving ourselves. To do that, we must shift our paradigm from loving outside in to loving inside out. But how? Well, here are a few suggestions to consider. We must be able to reimagine love beyond an emotion and take into consideration that love is the most dominant, divine, intelligent, expressive, unwavering, and living superpower available in our physical and metaphysical world that can be applied to all of our most intense realities so that we are empowered to succeed in everyday situations. We must internalize that we are first and wholly loved in the mind of God when we were just an idea and are perfectly loved upon arrival. We must perceive that we are love personified, bearing the responsibility to unleash our insurmountable favor the worlds would never recover from. We must be willing to dedicate a considerable amount of our time to love and educate ourselves about ourselves in an effort to recalculate our value and articulate why we exist, what we are truly capable of, who we are as natural born leaders, what we are motivated by, how high we can perform in our industries with our gifts and talents, what is the extent of our creativity to build exponential and generational wealth. We must come to terms that love can never be wasted and is a constant resource that enables us to always possess the capacity to love and to make room to be loved, even after a broken heart or damaged relationship. We must perceive love as our defense so we can stop pretending to be invincible and understand that it is okay to be vulnerable and not commit valuable energy for self preservation. We must perceive love as a shield so that we can walk through the full force of any experience that threatens our rights to vote, equal pay, body autonomy, and the like without fear or awareness of its blunt impacts. We must recognize that love owns the responsibility to protect us so that we can just focus on being wonderful. For if we can trust ourselves in the hands of love, then we are free to do our life's work with innovation to serve the world around us without distraction. Now, while you consider other ways to shift your paradigm from loving outside in to loving inside out, did you notice a few key words I mentioned, such as internalize, know, perceive, comprehend, and recognize? You see, to ensure our success, it is not enough to be loved. We must know we are loved. There is something to be said about knowing a thing. It is the dividing line between just pondering to having full access to a realized experience. Comprehending just how loved we are our Heavenly Father, family, friends, and significant others allows us to reason, make sound decisions, advocate for ourselves and others, and operate at high levels of performance so that we can never be disarmed by the lesser or overwhelmed by the mighty. Ephesians chapter 3, 17 through 19 expresses that if we are rooted and grounded in love, we may be able to comprehend that love has scale, distance, intensity, and altitude. And if we know the love of Jesus Christ, which passes knowledge, then we have the opportunity to be filled with all the fullness of God. As I continue to build my case that love is the ultimate key to women's success, let us take the next few moments to stroll through our journey with love. So I believe I'm going to put a pause here in this segment here of reading. But I hope you are able to begin to feel something different concerning love and understanding why it is so important for us to be able to reimagine love beyond an emotion. It is the truth that we can be loved by so many people around us. But if we can't comprehend it, if we can't perceive it, if we don't know it, then it profits us nothing. Love truly is our everything. Love helps us to understand who we are as an individual and what we're absolutely capable of. Love is, as I mentioned, that constant resource. It never runs out. Even if it doesn't work with the people that we want it to work with. And that is a trick that usually causes many of us to stumble, because if we can't get love from those that we want to get it from, then we automatically think somehow, or fooled to thinking somehow, that we are not loved. But love is a constant resource. The late Dr. Maya Angelou, I believe she made a statement that to always give love a try one more time, and always one more time. Love is constant. And if we are willing to allow love to pass through us as a willing conduit, we will understand that our capacity to love is unlimited, and that we should always be willing to make room for love. I also like the idea that love is a defense. Love is our shield that protects us in the most heinous of moments, or the most strenuous of moments. That it is okay if we are afraid sometimes, to understand that love is strong enough to hold us, so we don't have to be so invincible. It is awesome to understand that as we walk through some fiery moments, that love is that protector, almost a force field, that while I might feel some of the stress of the moment, love does a thing where it doesn't allow us to feel the full weight of a moment. So it doesn't crush us to the point where we stop believing. So it doesn't crush us to the point that we stop moving, or that we stop building. So that we don't give up, even if we need to take a break. That we're willing to get back into the game. Love is that defense. Love is that shield. And love owns that responsibility. So all we got to do is be great. So, ladies and gentlemen, while this is only a snippet here in chapter 2, and I hope that other things to look forward to in chapter 2 is also expressing where I stopped, is taking us through a journey of love, where we first learned how to love, and how that love extends beyond where we first learned it. And then be able to revisit the particular notion, to understand that love has a nature, love isn't has an intelligence factor, and that love has immutable character. So these are other things to look forward to into chapter 2, as well as some other exercises on how to practically apply love to different aspects of your own personal life. So you'll also see some activities that you could take here that actually um, will allow you to begin to do some work in the reference guide workbook that also goes along with this book. So we also have Love the Success Factor um, reference guide workbook. So you'll also see here in chapter 2 opportunities to start learning how to practically apply love to your own personal experiences, how to do it practically, what to think about, how to brainstorm. So listen, I want you all to continue to read the book, but most importantly, I want you all to be able to not just enjoy the book and the workbook, But I really want us to get in and to take a deeper dive in this entire experience about love and um, how we are the agents of love here in the 21st century, and how we can apply love as leaders in our diverse domains of industry, in our spheres of influence, so that we can help those that we serve to move forward practically and not in this woozy space. So we have that opportunity to do that on Saturday, December the 13th, beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in Cisco WebEx, for a virtual experience with the Love the Success Factor Women's Leadership Conference. This is a one-day experience where we're able to not just walk across the pages of this particular book, but it's an opportunity to start understanding and start considering love differently. So that if there are any unfulfilled goals, any unfulfilled dreams that you may need to reprioritize, I believe that by the end of our time together, that love will help bubble some of those things back up to the surface so that we understand how we need to proceed, how we need to move forward to finish up the fourth quarter here in 2025, and how we need to step forth boldly in the first quarter in 2026 and in all of 2026. So I want you to see the bio for important information on how to register. To register is be able to see full details about the conference and what to expect from this experience. This is not just to talk about love. This is how to utilize love to move us forward with our work, with our purpose, with our visions for the remainder of 2025 and beyond. So I want to say thank you so much for joining me on today for this brief reading, and I hope to be able to share more with you from different parts of the book. But for now, here's to the journey, and let's move forward.